Hey, welcome back to Daily Flash. I'm Mitch English. Y'all, it is time to say what you mean, even if it includes them fighting words.
Through this journey, I had an opportunity to go to the Dominican Republic and meet my father for the first time. We sat in a restaurant. Every time a woman walked in, he'd be like, "That's your sister." He was so generous, he gave us each our own mothers. He was like, "Oprah, you got a mother."
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for comedian, writer, actress, and podcaster, Aida Rodriguez. Hi there. Thank you so much for joining us.
Good morning. How are you?
We are fantastic. Look, we just saw a clip of your special. It's on Max. And really, I encourage everyone to go out and check it out. You also have a podcast. It's called Say What You Mean and Why You Did It, which is, I love you just get right to it. And then I was reading more and more about your childhood and how much of things that are just uncommon, I guess is the best way to say, and to where you would think, how did you make it this far? Tell us more about what this new Max special is all about for those who haven't seen it.
You know what? I wanted to show people how a lot of comedians mind their comedy, how our life experiences become the jokes.
Okay.
People always ask us, "Is this true?" And I'm like, absolutely, 100%. This stuff happened.
You know, one thing I just boggles my mind, you were kidnapped twice, right, as a child? Am I right or wrong on that?
I was taken from the Dominican Republic from my father, and then my grandmother took me from my mother. Yes. So
Wow.
both times from my family.
And I would imagine going back and look, there's only one way to go with that, and that is humor. And that's probably, I'm sure, where it comes with a lot of how can I be in the world and just kind of tell my story. Is that what folks are getting from not only your podcast, but also, as I mentioned, what we could find on your special?
Yeah, absolutely. Normalizing life experiences, even though a lot of those things feel uncommon. I can't tell you how many emails and DMs I've gotten from people who share the same experience but have too much shame to actually talk about it.
And it's people like you that do come out and talk about it, and not only that, can probably laugh about it as well. That helps people that need to go through that. Tell us a little bit more. I want to go into about your podcast, who you have on it, and maybe who would be a dream guest for you to have on that podcast.
You know, I guess I don't know what my dream guest is. I've had so many amazing people on that show, from cast members from the show Suits to people that are like very popular comedians. Tiffany Haddish has done it. April Jones has done it. Like, quite a few people have stopped by to do it. But I just enjoy listening to people really share those moments where they wish they would have spoken up and they didn't. And they range from funny to sad to angry. And they're all really, really interesting. So if I had to pick one person and I could go back in time, I would love to hear what Muhammad Ali would say, because it felt like he said so much.
No, 100%. And he did things for a purpose, and we learned out afterwards and such. And what an incredible life as well. You had mentioned Tiffany Haddish. You two are good friends. Anytime we're going to see you guys maybe working together outside of your podcast?
Well, she produced a special that I have that's called They Ready. That's on Netflix, and you can watch it now. There are 6 of us. She produced 6 half-hour specials. Mine is episode 3 in season 1. And I have so much to be grateful for because of that special. So many great things have happened to me since. So we've actually already worked together. They Ready is streaming right now on Netflix.
I would imagine 2 funny women like y'all together would be great to see on screen too. And I'm sure we get some laughs out of that podcast as well. To dive a little bit more into your life, you have written a book. It's called Legitimate Kid. And you kind of share more of a personal side of your life. What really inspired you to really get this out and write the book?
I think so many people struggle with legitimacy in the world. And I just think that there's so many divisive tools that we see right now, separating people on why we're different. I wanted to share my experiences that anyone can connect to, how we're always trying to seek validation and legitimacy, and we have to find it from within.
What does it mean to legitimize yourself? Is that just something that you have to do for yourself, or you're proving it to other people?
I did it for myself. For so many people, for so long, I tried to do it for other people, and that didn't work because, especially now, even though we think we're getting validation through social media, people are just scrolling along. You just have to do it for yourself.
Absolutely. And you started off when you wrote this book, you wanted this to be different from your stand-up. Tell us which ways they are, and are we learning more? Are we got some good stories that we can find some good morals in as well?
Absolutely. This is a story of triumph. It's a story about
Yeah.
my life, how I started, the things that happened, and how I happened to those things so that I can persevere and pursue my dreams. I didn't want to just give people trauma and I didn't want to trivialize trauma, but I also wanted to let people know that if you stand on, if you really stand on what you believe in, go get what you want because this life is long, but it's also short, and you are worthy of the things that you want in life.
Indeed, and I appreciate the fact that you can look back and laugh at it because that adds so much more, not only by telling the story, but for you as well, because it's not, it's part of what you are. It's not defining who you are, but I would imagine you had to go through that. Along with that, on the other side, as far as presenting and being on stage and stuff, how did you actually deal with the pressure of always being on?
I struggle with that because I'm not on all the time, and people, when they meet me, they like ask me for a joke, and I'm like, "Do
Yeah.
you walk up to a dentist and open your mouth? No, like you gotta come see me live." I think once I leaned into being my most authentic self, just really embracing who I am and what kind of comedian I am, I think it works out for me. But yeah, there's always pressure to be funny. But my heroes are Carlin and Pryor. And so when I think about the stories and the way that they gave it to the world, it always makes me feel like I'm okay.
Absolutely. You're talking about two comedians there that were not afraid to speak their mind, and you could always appreciate that. We appreciate you speaking yours, and of course, you could check out, of course, Aida Rodriguez. You can head over to funnyaida.com. We'll have links on our website as well. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. We got more Flash. Matt Doolittle's doing it when we return.